So welcome back to Talking College Football, Zach Freeze. We're going to talk about the top 25. After last week's games, how does Memphis drop in your rankings?
Oh yeah, Memphis, they fall to 25 after that beating at the hands of Navy last week, 45-20. And Navy moves up to into the top 25. They're at 20, but yeah, Memphis, first loss of the year. And they fall out of, if they were in any playoff contention, if they could have run the table and won the AAC, that's over.
So how did that win for Navy increase Houston's chances of running the table in the AAC?
I mean, it makes Houston think about Navy more as a real opponent. That they'll be tough because now that Navy has that win against Memphis, maybe they'll take them more seriously, and they still have to play Navy and Memphis, so it's going to be tough. But Houston, Navy's a good win. Memphis is a good win. If they can beat both those teams, what if they run the table? Who knows? Who knows? Some of these other teams up in the power conferences lose another game, like Florida or an LSU. They could jump in there. Who knows? But time will tell.
Yeah. Alabama beat LSU. LSU drops to 10. How does that set up a SEC championship matchup with Florida already clinching the East and with the West all compacted?
Yeah, it looks like, as long as Alabama doesn't just totally collapse, I think they'll be all right. But LSU's got a game against Arkansas. But you look at this, Ole Miss is finished because they've now got, not finished, but they're in trouble because they've got 2 losses right now. They lost to Arkansas.
They would need to beat LSU and
Right.
Alabama to lose.
Yeah, that'd be tough. But it's possible. The Iron Bowl is still left for Alabama. They got some tough games. They play Mississippi State coming up. So, it's possible, but I like Alabama a lot. And, yeah.
The one team I like to point out, though, is North Carolina at 17. They're quietly moving up their rankings with their 7-1 record. Do they make it some noise in the ACC for that championship?
Yeah, I think they could. I think they could potentially beat Clemson. Look at how their offense with Marquise Williams is going right now. They put up 66 on Duke last week. But so you look at that, and they're a team to be aware of. I think they should have been ranked last week, or at least lower in the ranking. 25 to 23, somewhere in there, and they didn't get any respect there. But that was a huge win against Duke, and it puts them in firm control of that Coastal Division and play most likely Clemson for the ACC championship.
And last thing, Big 12, with TCU losing and dropping all the way to 14, does Oklahoma State have the firepower to win out in the Big 12 and get a team in the Big 12 championship?
I think it's possible, but I don't think it's probable. They've got a lot of tough games left, including Bedlam against Oklahoma. That's going to be tough. I think they play Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
They all play each other backloaded back there.
It's all backloaded, so I doubt they go undefeated just because I think it might end up being and everyone's going to beat up on each other, and it's going to be hard to determine who really is the best because everybody, I think that we're going to see everybody just beat everybody. It's going to be kind of beating up on each other, kind of round robin. So should be interesting.
So you're saying Big 12 was kept out of the playoff again this year?
I don't know. We'll have to see. But Notre Dame right now is playing great football, and if they win out and they beat Stanford, I don't know if
they'd have to make it.
Yeah, I think they would. So.
Yeah. Well, that's it for Top 25. We'll be back in a minute with our special guest, John Gruden. So welcome back with Zach Freeze and John Gruden. We're going to talk about some games here. The first game we got for you is a big-time matchup in the AAC between Memphis going to Houston.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. That Memphis defense really struggled against that triple option that Navy always brings to the table. So I'll take Houston. Houston got a big win last week against Cincinnati, so I'll cut that part out. I'll take Houston in a big win against Memphis.
Yeah, I like Houston as well. Memphis got blown out last week, as Coach said, to Navy. But Houston's still undefeated, still rolling. I think they get the W, and this win will really help their chances of getting into the AAC championship.
Good stuff right there. We're going to talk over now to the SEC matchup. Pretty much the only one in the SEC that pretty much has any weight on the playoff or the standings over there. We're going to talk about Alabama traveling to Mississippi State. How does things go down in Starkville?
Well, Bama handled Leonard Fournette with ease. He only put up 31 yards on 19 carries, so I think that Bama defense will stop whatever Dak Prescott has up his sleeve against Bama. But I have Bama in a blowout win for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Bama as well. The way that they pretty much dominated LSU. Fournette did nothing. And Derrick Henry, and maybe he's rising in the Heisman considerations. We'll have to see. But Dak Prescott, got to give credit to him and Mississippi State. They're having a good year. But I just think Bama's too much. And they'll
that you never know what to expect. But I definitely have Washington State in a victory over UCLA.
I'm going to go with UCLA. I like the talent and speed here over Washington State. And Washington State's a good team, but UCLA has been playing some pretty good football here towards the end of the year. And their quarterback, true freshman Josh Rosen's been playing pretty well. And they've got another true freshman, Soso Jamabo, who's been running the ball really well. So I think it'll be a pretty high-scoring game. I'm going to go with UCLA.
Okay, the big game of the week, Baylor playing Oklahoma at home. Both teams still in playoff contention. Who can pull out that Big 12 grudge match?
Well, Baylor's without their star quarterback, Seth Russell. He's out for the year on a neck injury. And Oklahoma, they've been able to bounce back pretty well since their loss to Texas. But it's still kind of an iffy situation because Jeff Stidham certainly came in and played well against Kansas State, but I'm going to go with the Oklahoma Sooners here. I'm a big fan of Blake Mayfield and what he's done for Oklahoma, so I'm going to go with the Sooners.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Oklahoma as well. I don't trust Jarrett Stidham enough to play in this kind of big game yet. Although he did play really well last week, I think Oklahoma's going to be better than Kansas State. So with Samaje Perry running the ball, he's a guy who's and he's made a big impact in the running game for Oklahoma. A big reason why they're winning games. So Oklahoma finds a way to beat Baylor. Another high score.